Now, out of all the positions you can hold on the political spectrum, one of the weirdest one you could probably say is being black, conservative, and being a MAGA and a Republican. That probably is one of the weirdest positions you can actually hold. I know it sounds surreal, but it actually does exist, considering what MAGA is actually about. And we are about to see them right before our very eyes right now. But before we jump into today's video, if you're new around to this channel, it will be massively appreciated if you drop a like on the video and also subscribe. Let's get right into it.
Black Live, and a fellow Trump supporter said that all he needed was my vote. I'll never be part of the MAGA family, and that I'm black, I'll never be accepted, but he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy. Like, I love MAGA Nation, I love the MAGA family, and that breaks my heart that someone would speak to me like that right after the election, that all I was a vote? Nah, I love all you guys, and I know most of you MAGA family members are not racist, and I love you guys, and I'll keep repping MAGA Nation, Trump 2024, but that really broke my heart that some guy would say that. Extremely heartbroken.
That brother right there is too far gone. Now today we're going to do a deep dive into black conservatives. Now I'm not going to lie to y'all, I am very new to this political thing. I just learned out what a conservative was. I just learned out what a liberal is. Bear with me. I was seeing some people in my comments talking about, you're pushing far left agenda. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just pro-black. Anything that helps my people, I'm supporting it. And as I was doing research, I did note that like some of the left ideas like agree with what I'm saying, and the conservative ideas is just like, it ain't got nothing to do with pro-blackness, so no. Now, the first black conservative that I want to discuss is Officer Tatum. He's a huge conservative YouTuber that pulls in massive views, and one thing that I've noticed is that if you're a black person and you're a conservative and you make videos degrading black folks, you're gonna be making that bread.
Definitely, you're definitely gonna be making money, right? It just seems to actually like engage in so much. It seems to engage with so many people being anti-black, and also just vilifying and totally just putting down black people and just blaming all the like unfortunate circumstances that comes with being in a black neighborhood and just placing right on them without any form of consideration that, hey, there might be some issues that you're not necessarily at fault for that could literally decide your life, like being born into a single parent household, being born in an area that is very, very high in drugs or crime. These things that can literally take hold of you that you don't necessarily have too much control over. That perspective is never taken into consideration, and that's one of the worst part. But being a black person and supporting MAGA is kind of crazy, considering the president right now literally wanted to remove the birthright citizenship. What do you think is actually going on there? How can you actually support that, be black, and also support someone that's willing to revoke birthright citizenship? Jesus.
CIA planted drugs in our communities.
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree. Do you think
they burned down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they?
You didn't have to sell it. I mean, he is right. I ain't gonna lie. All jokes aside, man, desperation makes you do crazy things. When there's no jobs in the neighborhood, everything's run down to the ground, the government redlined the area, desperate times calls for desperate measures. I'm not advocating selling drugs, but why even do something as evil as tempting people like that? Like, it's like tempting a person that's starving with a little bit of bread. Like, they're going to get it.
Whites are more likely to commit crimes against children. Whites are more likely to commit crimes against co-workers. Whites are more likely to commit crimes against individuals who are inside of their families. Now, that is also from FBI.gov, but are you using that as a pretext? Are you using that as a pretext to follow all white people and think that they are child molesters or about to commit a crime against
you're trying to, the FBI statistics are on conviction rates.
Uh-oh.
The FBI homicide statistics.
No, it is not, brother. You need damn
people
stats.
can go out and do the research.
Not based on conviction rates,
People can go out and do the research for themselves.
They sure
the
can.
Research that I've seen, the homicide rates, you could call it the murder or homicide rates, depending on how you want to frame it, are convictions. So
So as you can see, he's just following up the racist, white supremacist ideology that black people commit more crime. I've already did a video on this topic, but I'm going to leave the article down below where you can see that it says arrest. Arrest, not convictions. It's crazy that he has this huge platform but can't do the proper research to see that his fallacy is wrong. Now we off Tatum, man. It's time to move on to the next raccoon. Rob Smith. Now off the bat, look, don't tell me I'm lying. He looked just like Tom from the Boondocks, bro.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is tired of black people, but it's two specific types of black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even
the problem with like black conservatives generally, especially people that have loud voices in this kind of area, is they always seem to fall into this pit hole where it's very, very recommended to be a black conservative, but one step further than that is to actually hate on black people and the decision they make, the level of like crime that they always seem to point to, right? The people that are like conservatives and are black, they always seem to fall into this pit hole where they're not just conservative and black, they also are harsh on black people because it generates like profit, like it gives them some sort of like a, I don't know, like it just brings them onto like a different stage and it makes them feel like they can be accepted. I don't know, maybe it makes them feel like they can be accepted by other race, like white people. I don't know what it actually is, but generally if there is someone that's a black conservative, they usually always align themselves with the kind of views that black people are just bad and they always do all wrong and you can't really do anything. Like it always seems to be that way, and that's the worst part, because you can just be black and conservative, that's fine, but if you start hating other black people, that's when it's like, why? And it's generally a trend, or especially people that have loud voices on social media. They generally don't just they aren't just black conservatives, they're also black conservatives while also hating on black people. That generally seems to be the trend amongst people that are actually like big, like Myron, like Candace Owens. These people, they generally are that way. And it's very weird. You can just be black and be conservative. And that's fine.
other black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it and they want to avoid it. The second group of black people that everybody is tired of is this sort of like fake.
Giving attitude is not necessarily it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with black people. It's like, it can be anyone. Like, have you been outside the whole world? Like, have you actually been outside of black neighborhood? Have you actually worked with people? It doesn't have necessarily inherently with black people. It's just bad people, annoying people in general.
Fake black bougie intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak.
Anytime I see a black person making black fatigue videos, it just screams pick me. For one, that is not what black fatigue means. Even if you acted like a black person and not an N-word, they would still view you the same. And if you don't believe me, check out this video right here of Rob, bro. This is what the people he support did to him.
Yes, Nick Fuentes loves gay sex. No,
he doesn't.
America first! America first! America first! America first!
These white supremacists absolutely do exist in this party. We all saw me face them from face to face.
Wait, hold on. You're black and gay. What? Bro, you're black and gay and you're Republican. Bro, this guy is messed up. How are you gay? Does you realize, like, generally Republicans are very, very, like, they're just not very welcoming towards gay people. Like, does he actually realize that, right? Like, what?
I'm looking at soulless, dead-eyed white supremacists that, by the way, I felt that these people could have bashed my brains in had they gotten the chance.
You see what I mean, bro? If you're black, it don't matter. You could be conservative all you want. They still look at you as a nigga. We gonna move on from Rob, man. Hopefully this situation woke him up. It didn't, by the way. He's still making videos trashing black folks. The next set of conservatives I want to talk about are the Hodge Twins. And man, bro, I used to really watch their content when I was young, and I would have never thought they turned out this way. And if we're being honest,
these guys are the worst. They're literally like the worst. Like, I've seen a couple clips of them now, and I've seen them like talk about. They generally have no they're just the worst.
I always felt that they would like pivot to maybe doing movies or just doing something big because they always had that personality. Maybe around like 2016, 17, I believe once Trump started running, they turned into full conservative YouTubers. They seen that them talking down on black folks brings in the cash. Now, I know everybody heard about this situation of the all-white town in Arkansas. The Hodge Twins did a reaction to it. This is what they had to say.
To be honest, I don't want to live in in the United States of America if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white, it's gonna be a much different country. It's gonna be a much different country. Well, that's just a fact. If you look,
Oh my God! I mean, all right.
if you just look at voting statistics, how ethnicities other than white vote, this country would be totally different. So I understand the fear of white people want to live in a country that's majority non-white. I understand that fear wholeheartedly because I don't want to live in a country that's majority non-white because it would systematically change our country.
Hell yeah, America need to stay white. Yeah. Well, guess what, y'all? The Hodge Twins hit up the owner on Twitter. He said, "Hey, Arville, I know your community is whites only, but could you make an exception for 2 Negroes? We're not even full sub-Saharan. Look, I promise I'm not slow. We're not even full sub-Saharan. We're over 40% white." Y'all want to know what Arville said? God bless the Hodge Twins. But no.
Ooh. Ooh.
Listen, no matter how much you tap dance, you gonna still be a nigga. You could be in the house, but you still gonna be a nigga.
Better off as black people now than we were before LBJ passed those policies.
Yes, brother, we can vote without the threat of violence. Are you talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964? Is that what you're describing as a negative thing?
I'm not saying the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was, I'm talking about...
That's LBJ, I just want to be clear. That's LBJ who you said, were we better off before LBJ? LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
I'm talking about the war on poverty.
I just want to answer that one. I want to answer that specific one first. Was the Civil Rights Act of 1964 bad thing?
I agree with the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Thank you.
But at the same time, I'm also, put like this, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery.
I don't know what that means.
I'd rather deal with the dangerous freedom of not knowing and controlling people with policies as much as possible versus the peaceful slavery of being married and tied to the government.
Big shout out to the...
That doesn't even make any sense. He's so like far gone into the MAGA Republican conservative ideology. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. What does that even mean?
Interviewer, man. I don't know how he held his composure. His name is Garrison Hayes, by the way. Amazing speaker, man. I want to get on his level one day, bro. Like, hey, he's the GOAT. But that's gonna be the video, man. I hope y'all enjoy, bro. I just want to say, y'all have been going so crazy on this channel.
Listen, you can be in the position you want, okay? Like, it's not surprising that black people generally, or people of color generally, tend to vote left-wing and democratic in the United States, right? It's not a surprise, right? But you can do that, be black and be conservative. You can do that without putting down other black people. Like, it's you should be able to do that. But it seems to be a general trend with these people. And like he said at the start of the video, it's because it's very, very popular and it brings in the cash. Literally, a lot of people always sell their soul for the money. And I think you can generally agree that that's actually what they're doing. Because if you actually ask them, okay, I'm sure people have actually seen it right before the election when they were asking MAGA supporters, why do you support Trump? Why are you voting Republican? They can barely come to any reasonable argument or any reasonable conclusion onto why they're actually supporting Trump. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why are you supporting his tariffs? Because, you know, the country, they will pay us. No, people that are in America are paying for the tariffs. They didn't know that. So it kind of just falls along the same line. It doesn't make any sense. Again, you can be black and be conservative, but just don't do it whilst also putting down black people. It just doesn't make sense. Like, at the end of the day, should be like trying to like raise everyone up. shouldn't have to hate on anyone, but that's just my thoughts. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and also drop a like on the video.